Talk about volatility, guys. It's 12:30 p.m. right now on the East Coast, and I'm not sure if you caught it, but earlier in the day, and I'll pop this intraday chart up so you can see it right here. Earlier in the day, the markets were pretty nicely in the green. We're talking the S&P, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ. Everything was in the green, and now the Russell's in the red, and you can see clearly here S&P's in the red as well. We've seen a nice, well, maybe not a nice, but a sharp decline depending on how you're looking at it. Maybe if you're a short, maybe if you're a bear. It is nice to you, but we've seen a sharp decline in SPY, in the Russell, and all these indexes, again, when we were nicely in the green before. So we're having some volatility in the markets today. We're going to break that down in this video, and we're going to talk about some stocks that I'm watching, what I'm doing in the markets. We'll break down the jobless claims numbers as well. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. If you all find value, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe as well, and let's dive into the video. So right now we have SPY pretty much at break even, but it's leaning more towards the red. The Russell's down 0.1. The NASDAQ's up 0.5% as the Dow is up about, what is that? 1/3%? Yeah, about 0.3%. And we have the VIX, believe it or not. Well, I mean, it's not hard to believe, but it's down about 2% right now as the metals are up. Gold's up 0.5%. Silver's up 2.2%. So look at the volatility. I mean, earlier in the day in the pre-market, SPY was at 366. We saw a nice pop to about 370. That was about an hour before open. And then heading into open, that hour before open, this thing went from about 371 to roughly 366, so it lost about 1%, and then 10 minutes into open, it rocketed all the way up to 372.50, which was a move of 1.5%, and now, about an hour and a half later, all those gains are gone. So again, we have a lot of volatility right now, and I guess a good sign here for the bulls, even though they're getting slaughtered right now in real time. A good sign is earlier in the day, they were able to take the high out from the pre-market. Again, pre-market high was 370, roughly to 371. And then we hit about 372, almost 373 at about 10:15 here on the East Coast. So about 2 hours prior to me filming. And Triple Q also took that high out. It's probably still trading above the high. It's actually right at the high now from the pre-market. The pre-market high was 272. We hit about 275 a couple hours ago. Now we're at 271.50, trying to hold that point as support. So let's see, guys. Right now, it's a ton of volatility out there, and there's no doubt about it. We have clear resistance still at this trend line that I just drew on the 20-day chart on Triple Q and on SPY. So are we going to get buying pressure out of that point? Are we going to get selling pressure at about 380 on SPY? Time will tell. That is what I'm still watching right now. And I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but we got the jobless claims numbers this morning, and they reported, the Labor Department, an unexpected drop in the number of Americans filing for unemployment insurance for the week ended October 15th. Claims fell to 214,000 from a revised 226,000 last week, a sign that the labor market remains tight despite the efforts to tamper down the economy to cool inflation. And economists surveyed by Bloomberg expected applications to total 230,000. So, yeah, a little bit less there than the estimate. And again, labor market still seems pretty tight. And that is what the Fed's looking at least one of the things the Fed is looking at in terms of determining the future here of their moves, which we all know at the end of this year, they're going to be finishing, rates are going to be roughly, the market's pricing in about what? 4.25%, 4.5%, something like that. So markets, I mean, they're kind of shrugging this off. It's not that big of a deal for the markets right now. Again, we're slightly in the green, and a lot of individual stocks are green, but for the Fed, it's something that they're going to be looking at, of course. And we have the CPI numbers for the next couple of months that they're going to be looking at, the labor market and so forth. So, yeah, jobs reports. These are big things here. A lot of the pieces to the puzzle that the Fed is looking at, and they're trying to put the puzzle back together, in other words, right? I don't know if that's the best analogy, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So let's talk about some stocks that are moving like crazy right now. By the way, before we do that, did you guys get your 15 stocks from Moomoo yet? If you haven't already, use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. Deposit at least $100 and you could get up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And don't worry, there's more. There's more, guys. Oh, wait, there's more. Webull. You can get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All of those are linked down below. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, let's talk about these stocks. So we got some movers. Las Vegas Sands is moving right off the bat here. They reported earnings yesterday. They missed on EPS, if I remember correctly, but they did beat on revenue. And nothing really changed after the bell yesterday in terms of the stock's price. It was pretty flat. But today, it's up 6.5%. Look at that. It's moving like no other. It is starting to break out here on the 4-hour. Clearly, buying pressure came in at the bottom of this channel. Now we're, testing these moving averages at about $38, which I think will ultimately break. And from that point, this could actually start going to the mid-40s, low mid-40s. That's my thought here on Las Vegas Sands. And did you guys see AT&T today? It is fully breaking, and well, not fully breaking out, but it's getting there. They reported earnings. The stock's up 8%. It's now breaking out of the 50 SMA and the 180 SMA, which, guys, look at the chart. Look at the chart. AT&T has not been above the 180 SMA since the beginning of July, which was what, 4 months ago, over 4 months ago, or no, not 4 months ago, 3 months ago. Mixing up the months, guys. But yeah, AT&T's finally starting to move here, and let's see what they did. I forget exactly what they reported, but they reported earnings this morning. Let's see here. They ended up doing 68 cents versus 61 cents estimated on revenue of $30 billion versus 29.86. So they beat EPS, they beat on revenue, and let's see if they did anything or reported any guidance or even if it's even on here. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything, but let's see. Anything on their dividend too? That's what I want to see. Expect to achieve wireless service revenue growth, yada yada yada. Who cares about that? I want to see about their guidance. Anything on guidance or their dividend? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, but overall they double beat, which that's a good sign considering the stock has been getting pummeled, guys. I don't even know how else to put it. I mean, this stock was at $21 a share, and the dividend yield, if you guys recall, even back then was pretty high. And, whenever a stock goes down in price, the dividend yield, guess what? It goes up. So I think at this point, when it was 21 a share, the dividend had to have been 5.5%, maybe right around there. So when it tanked down at, to this level, 14.40, that's a 27%, 30% drop. That's putting the dividend to a level where it's at, 8%, maybe even higher than that. That is a vulnerable spot for AT&T. I'm not going to lie. Whenever you see a company that has a dividend that's 8, 9, 10+%, which who knows if it ever does get the 10% on AT&T, probably not unless the stock gets down to like $11 or something like that, which would be horrible. But it's whenever a dividend's high like that, you got to be a little bit, cautious about it. So the fact that they did report a good quarter, the stock's starting to rip right now, that's a good sign. And I don't think the dividend per se is at risk of being cut. I have to look deeper into their cash flow and see if their free cash flow can cover the dividend payment. That's important. That's one thing that you guys want to look at. Maybe I'll make a video on that. But overall, AT&T, good news. I mean, in the short term, up 8%. It's pushing $17. That's good. That's a good sign. Again, it's breaking out of the 180 SMA. First time doing that since about 3.5 months ago. So yeah, kudos to AT&T. Let's see if they could put a couple quarters, string a couple decent quarters together to really start getting the stock back up over $20, which honestly, that's why I think this one belongs. And I don't think this is under a $20 stock. I mean, there's a lot going on with this company. They just broke off from Warner Brothers. I'm not sure if you guys knew that. WBD, they had a spinoff there. That was a couple months ago. And this has been destroyed too. WBD was at 31 a share in the beginning of the year. Now it's at 12 a share. I mean, 13 a share. So yeah, these stocks are not doing well overall, but in the very short term, going back to T again, it's doing decent. So IBM is also doing pretty well today, 4%, and it's right around $130, which if you guys caught my video yesterday, I'll say it again here, that was the high from the middle of September. So I think if 130 breaks, we're already above the 180 SMA, 50 SMA. Now if $130 breaks, we could end up seeing a nice move towards mid-high 130s. That was the high from the middle of August. So keep your eyes on IBM today, guys, and for the rest of this week, honestly. And Shopify, look at this. Shopify's up 7% as I'm making this video. And guys, do you not see an inverse head and shoulders kind of forming here? I personally do. You guys see that left shoulder right there? We got the head right here. I butchered that. Let me redraw it. Boom, you see that? And this is going to be the right shoulder, potentially. And we have earnings coming up for Shopify here next week, I believe, on the 27th. Yeah, about a week. Yeah, exactly a week from today. That's next Thursday, Shop's reporting. So if we start getting a move past, I'd say 31.50, 32 on Shop, there's going to be some upside there. So I'm going to set my alert at $32. And where could it go from there? The right shoulder, if it plays out beautifully, could complete mid-30s. That's what I'm thinking. So let's wrap back to the markets here and see where this is at. So really, guys, at this point, markets, it's a waiting game. Either we break 380 and start ripping towards 400, 410 on SPY, which you guys remember, that was the last time we had a decent relief rally was in the beginning, middle of September. That's where it peaked out at. If it breaks 380, 400, 410, that could be the next target. If Triple Q, going back to that, if it breaks roughly 280, which I don't even have an alert there, but I'll set one right now. Mark is at we're above 280. There could be a push towards maybe 300, 310, 315. That's where this was just about over a month ago when it had that relief rally in the beginning, middle of September. So what do you guys think? I'll leave you with this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the markets. And if you want me to cover any stocks, drop them down below in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Get your 15 stocks from Moomoo and your 12 stocks from Weeble. And subscribe to my other channel. I have 2 channels. The other one's called Stas Talks Money. Go check it out. Personal finance content on there. I have a Dave Ramsey video on there right now that's kind of taken off a little bit in the algorithm, and I'm getting a bunch of hate comments, so go check it out. If you guys want to see me ruffle some feathers, subscribe to that other channel. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.